You know, it's a sad thing about Chris. You know, I don't know exactly in details, but I heard, you know, whatever it may be, with him being out for the season, it's still sad thing. But, you know, I hope all the best for him. You know, one of these days I'm going to just try to reach out to him, you know.
Sorry about that. So many moves, but the top teams in the East don't make moves. So, you know, Washington makes a small move.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say now about the competition going the last third of the season?
I mean, you know, teams gonna make a push. You know, for Miami, for instance, before this stuff with Chris, they got a lot better, especially at the point guard position. So you can tell teams, really trying to strengthen up their roster going into the playoffs.
Did you see it as a vote of confidence yesterday? Because Masai and Dwayne said that it was. Did you agree with that?
Yeah. It says a lot, because this team we've been with all year, despite a couple injuries here and there, and everything, we still stuck together. And what we got here, I think we definitely put something together.
When you look at the top 5 teams, yourself and the other 4, as a fan as much as a player on one of those teams, do you see them like all on an even playing field? Do you think one is the favorite?
I think it's up for grabs, honestly. If you was ask me, it's no. True. It's not no solid pick. I don't think. I think in the whole league, period, not just in the East and the West as well. And, it just all depends who go out there and play consistent basketball every single night.
Are there any of the teams that? Do you go through the teams and say, I'd rather play that team, or is it just you can beat any team and you can lose to any team?
Yeah, that's where it's at. That's why I say that, because anybody can go out there and beat anybody. Look at the situation now in the West with, OKC being at 8th. Yeah. I guarantee you, 1 and 2 seed probably this be a hell of a team to go against in the first round. And, it's the same in the East. You got to be conscious of every single team.
Mark, to that point, 50 games in, is there any measuring stick in a game like this where it's 1 versus 2 and it's, in Atlanta's joint? Is there anything to that?
It's going to be a great game. I think they said the game is supposed to be sold out tonight, and that's the first time I didn't heard about it since I've been in the league playing in Atlanta. So, it definitely means something. Two of the top teams in the East going against each other. So it definitely should be entertaining.
They kind of knocked you around last time as well.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be personal for us, especially, how we lost at home against them. And, give them credit. They're a great team, but it's going to be a great challenge for us tonight.
Other guys have kind of said this about your team in terms of how tough it is to game plan against a club that has so many different weapons. Is that sort of the situation with Atlanta as well?
Oh, yeah, definitely, because they don't have just one short player that they go to or they get a ball to or they go inside. It's a collective effort between them, just like us as well.
One thing that Dwayne was saying yesterday is that he hoped, with all the chatter around Terrence, that it was a vote of confidence, particularly for him.
Oh, yeah.
Did you say anything, or does anything have to be said about him or to him?
I don't think nothing needs to be said. I think he's been in the league a couple years now. He understands that. Now he just got to take advantage of, just being here. Whenever his number is called to go out there and perform. We all got his back. The coaches got his back, and now that day yesterday is over with. Now he can move on.